James, hey, congratulations on your new film, Tinsel Town.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Gig. Hi.
Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you too, James. And you know what? We always love these, these comedic Christmas films. It always warms people's hearts. But we always have to ask that obligatory question first. What initially drew you that you wanted to be part of Tinseltown?
The script. It's a really good read. It was really, really funny. And I didn't know where it was going to go. And I just loved it. I just had a ball reading it. And I was like, oh, I definitely want to be a part of this. Everything starts with the script, right? So if the script is good, you have a chance of making a good film.
So true, so true. And one of the things that is a pleasure about watching this as an American, I wasn't even familiar of what was it called, a pantomime?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a very British thing, right?
It is a very British thing. I think well, actually, I have a feeling pantomime may have come from France initially. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But I have a feeling that there's a kind of a culture of pantomime in France as well. I think. As I'm saying it, I'm losing my conviction. But I have a feeling there's a similar thing out there. But certainly in the UK, it's a huge part of our Christmas holidays. You know, it's all about going to the pantomime with your family, and it's a tradition. It's an absolute tradition, and it's funny to us that you guys don't have that in the States at all. And because it's sort of supposed to be, it's kind of like doing it in a way where it's not supposed to be super slick. The more kind of like ridiculous and it is, the kind of the better it is as well.
Mhm.
So it's really good fun for the audience and obviously for the cast.
So you've attended a lot of pantomime before?
I have, yeah, and I played in pantomime as well. I did a lot of pantomimes when I was a kid.
Oh, really? What was that? What was that like?
Oh, just the best, it's just so much fun. You can feel, because you feel the energy of the audience. They're just having a ball. Everyone's happy to be there, and yeah, it's hilarious.
Is there a lot of improv in pantomimes?
I mean, there is a lot of audience interaction. So depending on what you get from the audience, you have to respond, from upstage as well. So yeah, there is a fair amount of that.
So in this case, you have to be always on your toes when it comes to something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like getting heckled. Like you never know when you get heckled, and not just by grown-ups. Like the kids are encouraged to shout out, to the up to the stage a lot, and so often they can shout really inappropriate things at the wrong time and all of that. And so all of that's just so much fun.
Now I know that a lot of us known you for, your on-screen roles, but you do a lot of theater as well, don't you?
Yeah, I have done a lot of theatre. I started off in theatre. I was a child actor, and I, started off in pantomimes actually, and then moved on to do all kinds of stuff in the theatre. And the last show I did was last year. I played Uncle Vanya in Anton Chekhov's masterpiece actually, and that was great. I had a really good time doing that. I like to, if I can, I like to do a play a year if possible.
So when you got a role in a film like this, what did you love? What do you seek out when you try to play the characters that because you play a lot of great supporting characters. They're always, what did they say? There's no such thing as a small role, and that's what you accomplished.
Thank you. I believe that to be true. I don't think there are small roles. There's just roles. And I mean, for me, rather than the character a lot of the time, I like to sort of look at the whole piece. And what I loved about this script was just that I loved its heart. I just thought it was a really heartfelt piece of work and very funny. And so what happens to me is I read something like that. I think, oh, I want to be a part of this for sure. And then in terms of the role, there's just a natural kind of comedy there in his kind of. I quite like, there's I quite like playing, or at least lambasting the kind of perceived British superiority card that that we can kind of play over here, especially with Americans. Obviously, it did that quite that kind of thing, that dynamic with Ted Lasso as well. And there's just something funny about seeing kind of superior people get toppled, and I'm very happy to play that role if required.
I was going to add was the fact that you play a lot of these type of roles where in a case where it kind of strides on comedy, but it's also very serious. I always thought it was like a British type of humor, but your delivery has like that comedic timing. Is that an easy thing for you to do?
I I think it might be. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just try and be as, I try to mean it really, and if you mean it, I think then it can be quite funny.
Very, very true. Now, just like Ted Lasso, you basically play against an American actor like Kiefer Sutherland. Can you talk about playing against Keith playing alongside Kiefer and can you distinguish as a British comedy versus an American comedy?
I think funny is funny, regardless of where you're from. You just have that feeling, and when you have that feeling, you're like, oh, okay, this is funny. And as soon as I opened the door and Kiefer was there, his attitude towards me was just instantly amusing. And so I kind of, I just sort of, you just play in the moment, together, and hopefully it's funny. But it just was a naturally funny, atmosphere between us, really, because he was playing it dead straight, and so was I, and so therefore you sort of got these two very sort of serious men with sort of some obvious kind of obstacles between the two of them, and you know there's just something funny about that because it's a kind of it's a tragic scenario that they're in.
Well, I do feel like comedy comes naturally for you, so.
I think it might. Yeah.
Well, James, let me wrap it up with one last question. For some of us Americans who are unfamiliar with the British over there, what is your typical British tradition that you love to do for Christmas?
I mean, the one that I love the most is, I'm sure it translates to where you are as well. I mean, well, I'm saying this now, and as I'm saying it, I'm worried that there might be people out there that, I mean, presuming that all of the viewers already know that, do we know Father Christmas is not? Wait, hold on, let me think. I don't want to blow a Father Christmas thing. I mean, let's say putting some footprints out by the fire is the tradition that I quite like to do. Does that make sense? Or no, let me put it another way without blowing Father Christmas's cover. The tradition I like to do the most is leaving out a carrot and a little glass of brandy and a mince pie and stuff by the chimney for when Father Christmas arrives for him and his reindeers to have a little snack. Do you do that over there?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, at least I don't. I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's a tradition that I do with my little boy, and we love to do that because then, funnily enough, you come down in the morning, and often it's the case that the brandy's been drunk, mince pies have got a bite out of it, and there's normally half a carrot left, so that's quite exciting.
That is quite exciting. Your boy must have really enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, James, thank you very much for speaking to us about Tinsel Town. It is a wonderful film, and you're right, it is all about the script. So thank you very much, James.
Thanks, Gig. Cheers.